Jeshua baptized, or did he baptize? Hey guys, it's John. I did a video on this a long time ago, but someone asked me this recently, and I wanted to come on and do another video because once again we've got 1,000 videos. It's hard to find the older ones now, so I'm just going to do this other one again here. Here's the comment. I remember seeing you did a video on baptism, but didn't watch it at the time, and now I can't find it precisely. Do you have a memory of Jeshua being baptized, or know if he ever followed John the Baptist? Thanks. Well, you're quite welcome. So let me just say this. I have no memory of Jeshua being baptized. Supposedly that would have happened before he met John, although there are stories that John was a follower of John the Baptist and various other things. And then there's also New Age stories that they were cousins and all kinds of things that I do not believe are true at all. John the Baptist was baptizing. Why was he baptizing? Because he believed in the ritual bath of a Judaic sect, ritual bathing. The Essenes were very big into the ritual bath. When you go to Qumran, there are ritual bath chambers that are designed for going in and having spiritual ritual baths. And baptizing is cleansing the soul with a ritual bath, basically. I do not believe that Jeshua was big into baptism for several reasons. One of them is I have no memory of ever doing a baptism with Jeshua. So there was no reason for him to do a baptism because he didn't believe in the Judaic stuff. Also, John the Baptist, the story of John the Baptist is based upon the voice crying in the wilderness, which was Judaic prophecy. There's a voice crying in the wilderness. And so it really comes to this kind of fulfill that prophecy. Now, as I said, I have a memory of avoiding the Essenes because they wanted him to step into the role of Messiah, and he wouldn't do it. So he didn't believe in the messianic prophecies of the Essenes. And so if I was going to say anything, I think John was probably of one of the sects like the Essenes that believed in ritualistic baths. And you know, the other thing is that you have to remember the earliest books of the Bible are not written by the disciples. I know they're attributed to them, but the earliest books are written in Greek. They're not written in Aramaic or Hebrew. And people will argue, oh, there's an Aramaic gospel. If you know anything about the Peshitta, which is the Aramaic gospel, is a translation from Greek into Aramaic. It's not the original text. So it literally, the original books are in Greek. And what's interesting is when you look at the teachings of the Essenes, right, they very much were into the Messianic Judaic beliefs. They were very much a hardline Jewish sect. And they were trying to prove the Messiah. And they also, one of the things they wanted to prove is the Messiah. They wanted to prove a Messiah so that the Messiah would become the king and raise an army and a country, and it was less about spirituality. It was more about power and conquest. And we know this to be true because the first armed conflict against Rome was led by John the Essene. And so as far as John the Baptist is concerned, I believe he probably was one of those Jewish sects like the Essenes, or possibly even an Essene. And I think that they were, the story of him baptizing Jeshua is really a story of trying to prove Jeshua was a Messiah, which is what they really tried to make him as. And for me personally, I don't believe it. And like I say, I have no memory of anything about baptism with Jeshua himself. In fact, if you really think about what he taught, there's nothing in the physical that we need. There is no ceremony. There is no dogma. There is no ritual. There is no anything that we need. The one that the Catholics have grabbed onto is the body and blood of Christ. You know, you eat the wafer, drink the wine, right? Even that, in him saying that, he wasn't saying make a ritual out of this. What he was saying was, remember what I'm teaching you as frequently as when you're eating and drinking. Think about the things that I'm doing, making it very present moment. And so when I look at these stories of John the Baptist, and how they've kind of tied him together. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and one of the things that the Star Wars fans argue about is, in the galaxy far, far away, it seems like everybody's getting to be related. It's a really closed community, right? Right. Luke's father, Darth Vader, Luke. And then you have Rey, who's Palpatine's granddaughter, and you have all these stories, right? But they're all in this closed loop, and so there's really not that many people inhabiting that galaxy. And what's happening now is the stories that are being created around Jeshua. John the Baptist was his cousin. Joseph of Arimathea was his uncle. You start hearing all these stories. None of them are written anywhere. They're all New Age constructs that are trying to make the story of Jeshua more palatable, or more palatable is the best way to say it. We're trying to make it so that it makes sense why this would happen this way. But I think it's all far simpler, and I think the concept of baptism itself is just a dogmatic ritual by a Jewish sect that believed in ritual baths. So that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.